There you go. Thank you. You're welcome. I know it's not your fault. No, it's frustrating too. You need to pay attention to time.
Yeah, you could say, we don't have time for more questions.
Yeah.
If I had a mic, I would have.
I know. I almost handed it to you.
I should. Didn't do any good.
I almost handed it to him, but I was like, ooh. Okay. All set up.
Collins in. Come on up, Tom. Either or. Don't hug our participants.
Sorry.
Huh?
Do you want me to keep this right for you?
Well, no, there's usually 20 to 30.
Look, there's only 7 signed up.
All right, is that okay for you?
Okay, please go to your places and get ready for us to start. Sorry, we're late. I expected to be in here at 1:45. Okay, we are ready. Marcia, would you close the doors? Close the doors. Interesting seating arrangements, huh? Okay, it's my pleasure to finally introduce Tom Smith and Harold Vitale, who have very interesting stories. And we may go on till 8 o'clock since it doesn't matter.
Don't worry.
And I think what we should do is hear both of them, their stories, and then leave the major questions. And there are some things up there on display that you might want to ask them about. So, do you want to be a starter, Harold? Yeah.
Sure.
There's your mic, and here, I'll turn it on. This one's on. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this one is on. Mic check, mic check.
Can you hear me okay? Okay.
Okay, we'll start out with. Is it on? Let's start with how life began for you.
Okay.
Where and anything interesting about it.
Okay. Well, I was born in Salt Lake City, Utah. in 1933, September 23rd.
Up close, yep.
Okay, let me turn it so it faces.
Close to
Anyway, that's where I grew up, Salt Lake City, Utah. And I have one sister. She was 3 years older than me. Life was just kind of easy for us there in Salt Lake, a small city of about 250,000 when I was born. And it was enjoyable for me.
How about something about your education? Where did you go to school? What did you like in school? And
Yeah, okay. I went to graduated from grade school.
good, I'm glad you did that.
Well, everybody in my community didn't.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what happens when you get so old. And what was I going to say?
Grade school.
Yeah, you
Oh,
were
yeah.
talking about school.
Yeah, I ended up going through high school successfully. The name of it was South High School. I could walk to school and back to where we lived. And in the wintertime, when it would snow and the streets would get kind of icy, we would hook a ride on the bumper of a car that was going towards school, and we would just squat down, hold on to the bumper, and slide behind it. None of us got hurt. That was good.
Hold the mic close to your mouth,
Pardon me?
close to your mouth. Because let us know if you can't hear.
You can?
That's better.
Okay. Okay.
What about college? Did you go to
Well, let me
college?
say just a couple more
Oh,
things.
okay.
I like to build things. So at Christmas time, I got toys were things that you tinker toys, log cabins, that kind of stuff. And okay, so I finally got to high school and getting in my last year, and I met all the other boys. We all wanted a car. So I pestered my father until he said, okay, I've got an old 1931 Chevrolet 4-door touring sedan. It's been in the garage for a while, needs some work. You can have it on conditions. Oh, good, Dad. What are the conditions? Well, it doesn't run. I want you to go take auto mechanics in high school and learn how to repair it, how pieces of it work, and then you can fix it up however else you want. So we did that. We said, I'll help you when needed. And he did, but I did most of the work with his direction. I was grateful for that. And there's a picture of it over there on the table. I'm in it. Fixing it up included getting it painted. I didn't do the painting. I just sanded it down, got the bumps and stuff out of it, and took it to a shop. It was a nice car. It wasn't very fast. But if you want to see what I looked like in those days, I'm looking out, got my arm on the window, open window. And
Well, let's move on to some work that you did. What kind of jobs did you like
well,
or like or not like?
I didn't mind working actually, but I got all the part-time jobs I could.
Like
So-
what?
Oh, grocery store clerk. Driving a truck, delivering merchandise from a major merchandise store. And not very exciting, but it gave me a few dollars. When I probably got all of the part-time jobs I was going to get, I started at the University of Utah, and that wasn't quite as exciting to me as what I'd imagined. So I got some more part-time jobs. And then I ended up going into the Navy, and I like that. I ended up being an electronics technician on a destroyer in the Pacific Fleet. And I took care of all the electronics on one of the destroyers of many that surrounded the 7th Fleet. And we used to think that we had the most efficient electronic surveillance equipment in the fleet. I kind of think we did. We did. There's 2 or 3 of us that had to maintain all that. And then I finished up my tour duty in the Navy, and went back to Salt Lake. I decided to continue at the University of Utah, so I did that. Graduated as with a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, and they didn't like my record from my previous stint, so I had to show that I was scholar worthy and get B or better grades in every class. I thought, man, I'm not sure I'm going to like this, but I did, and I did pretty well actually. And was able to qualify for several scholastic clubs and be a student body president of an electronics national organization. So when I finished that, I did what most of the other students did, and I interviewed for a full-time job, one that worked out nice for me, at least in sounding, listening to the recruiter, was at General Electric. And there, I liked the offer because it wasn't the most money, but it was going to put me on an extensive training program and extend my scholastic education. And so they let me enter on this ABC course for electrical engineers. Took 1 full-time class a week, and they were all instructed by experts in General Electric. And once in a while, we'd go to the University of Syracuse or Cornell and get a full day training there.
Harold, it's somewhere along the line, you met somebody to marry.
I did.
We have to kind of move on a little bit faster than usual.
Okay, well, after I got out of the Navy and was entering my new career, I had met a lovely young lady named Roberta. My sister was her good friend and got me a date with her at Christmas time when I was home on leave. And we just kept corresponding. And when I got out of the Navy, I asked her to marry me. And she did. And then I finished up at the University of Utah. Roberta was her name. And she I had the GI Bill to help me financially, and my wife had a job as a financial clerk in a store. Well, anyway, we got assigned to a couple of positions in San Jose at the Nuclear Power Division, and one at a small nuclear power plant in the foothills. And then my next assignment for a year was, so I think somebody's worked there. And then my next assignment was in Syracuse, New York. And I was assigned to work in the electronics division of GE that supplied military equipment for communications and all kinds of things like that. That was pretty good. I like that.
You had a couple of children, didn't you? Somewhere
No.
along the line here.
No, after Syracuse, New York, I came back here, and
Hold the mic up.
I probably didn't explain it to you clearly, but we had two boys, 1 year apart, and that was the joy of my life. There were a few really happy. I think my life's been mainly happy, but I think that was really special, having a nice wife and two good kids. My wife has passed away about 10 years ago, and my youngest son passed away early this year. And that's about the time I moved here. Okay, then here's something. I worked for GE for all that time, quite a while. And then I had a chance to start with the father of all semiconductor companies. And their family tree was large, but here's some of the products that I was either the senior engineer or I was the senior designer, or I was, seems like I always got assigned to managing something. At the same time, I didn't want to make myself obsolete, so I always took on a couple of design jobs along with the senior other work that I was assigned to. So what I designed, and
Well, the thing about that too,
this picture,
it's the birthday,
yeah, I had a birthday, and the guys that well, I had many.
but that was a card for his birthday, huh?
Yeah, this was a card from the guys at work, and
he'll put it up on the table for you to look at.
yeah, and what it's a picture of is the name on each product that I designed. We had like a nameplate, and these are the nameplates on all the products. These products are
Hold the mic close.
Yeah.
The mic close to your mouth. Hold your mic up.
oh, Mike, I keep wanting to drop that now. Anyway, that's what this is a picture of, and I was proud of that. So each product sold on this picture for about $500,000 to $2 million. So they were pretty, I mean, there was a lot of electronics in them. What they were designed to do was to test new semiconductors, integrated circuits. So like you probably know what I mean by that, but you've all probably got computers or something with a computer in it. And the integrated circuit that went into that is what this equipment was used to test by the manufacturers of those devices.
Harold, what did you do outside of work? Weren't you involved in, what was it, rowing or?
Oh, while I was in the Navy?
Well, I don't think you were rowing in the Navy, but I thought you were in a,
Actually, I was in boot camp.
okay.
We
And-
had competition with big boats and
Uh-huh.
different groups, and little guy like me didn't weigh much, so didn't.
What about sports? Were you involved in sports at all?
And I missed the question.
Well, sports, like in high school, football or baseball.
Oh,
or-
yeah, yeah. Tennis. I was involved, but I was never a star.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. What about, how did you find your way here to the terraces? What brought
So-
you here?
Well, I knew that I was going to need some help in life. And I knew someone who had moved here. And they told me about it.
Do you want to say who that was?
What?
Do
Oh,
you want to say?
I can't remember his name.
Oh,
Anyway, he did a good deed for me.
that's okay because you're among,
Yeah, I found out I was amongst good friends. That's how I got here. I was living in the I was living in just like not an apartment, but anyway, I was just, that's what it was. It's really an apartment. And prior to that, I was living in near Las Vegas, my wife and I. And she had a tragic accident there. And that's one reason I moved. I moved from there back to Los Gatos because house was too big for me. And I was retired at that time.
okay, well, let's leave any other people may have more, but I'm concerned about time because we're so late.
Okay,
But you will be, he will be available up here if you have questions and you want to say more.
okay,
Okay.
all right.
So we'll go on to Tom here.
Now I got some,
You know the
I think,
routine.
can you hear me? Good. I look out and I see a lot of friends. I'm not new here. I've been here for 3 years. And I can remember when this place was a walnut orchard. Like some of you out there have known the Renads for over 50 years from our church. I've been a member of the Presbyterian Church of Los Gatos for over 60 years. I was born in South Bend, Indiana in June of 1931. And with Notre Dame within walking distance. And I was having dinner one night with Frank Jones back there. And I said, what did you do in the real world? He said, well, I taught. I said, where'd you teach? He said, Notre Dame. I said, what? You walk off my front porch and turn right. And Notre Dame was just walking distance. But anyway, I went to high school. The high school that I went to, South Bend Central, is now an apartment building. But I did what most people, males, did in Indiana when you're in high school. I played basketball. My corpuscles are little round basketballs. So if you see me with the Purdue sweatshirt on with basketball underneath, that's why. But I did go to Purdue University, and I'm very proud of that because they really prepared me very well for my career.
Your careers.
Yeah.
He has so many. he's done
Well,
so many things.
yeah. When Kate asked me to do this, I said, why? Why you want to talk to me? And I kind of looked and I thought at my life and I thought, gosh sakes, I guess I lived a little interesting life.
Yeah. I can't wait to have you tell how you met your wife.
Oh, I
I
was
know
just
it's out
about
of
ready to do
sequence.
that, Kate.
Huh?
I was about ready to do that.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I had a very close friend. He was a neighbor in Indiana, South Bend. And the day I graduated from Purdue, two other friends of mine and myself got in a car and we went to Arizona to be in this friend's wedding. He moved sometime when I was in college, but he was a very close friend. And he married my wife's twin sister. That's how I met her. And by the way, Mildred's in the Grove right now. She's not doing very well, but that's kind of hard because we've been married for 68 years now. But anyway, that's unusual. So I have had a real close friend as a brother-in-law. And I taught when I got out of Purdue, I got drafted like a lot of people, and I went in the Army. And I was a military policeman. And I spent most of my time out here in California. And Mildred and I probably did not have 10 days face to face before we got married. My whole courtship was through the mail.
Couldn't have been online, could it?
No, not that time. That's not at all. And anyway, it's not in your lifetime. A lot of times things aren't what you know, it's who you know. But I got a job coaching and teaching biology at Glendale High School in Arizona, which was the high school that my wife went to. I was a freshman football coach, a freshman basketball coach, and a varsity track coach. In high school, I kind of skipped over some. I was very involved in Boy Scouts of America in high school.
That's well.
Yeah, and as I got older, I realized how much impact that had in my life. I'm an Eagle Scout. Mildred and I have 4 sons, and they're all Eagle Scouts. So once you're an Eagle Scout, you always are. And my scoutmaster pointed his finger at me one day and he said, "You like scouting?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And he says, "I want you to know, if you like something, always be willing to put something back into it that you take away." So I was a scoutmaster for 17 years and very much involved in scouting here in San Jose, to the point that I very proudly am a recipient of the Silver Beaver, which is an award given to somebody who has done a lot of good for the people, in this case, in Santa Clara County. It's on the table. And the Boy Scouts led me to having an outdoor ethic. I loved the outdoors. And after I'd been Well, I went from Glendale High School to San Jose City College as their track coach and cross country coach. I had the reason is that I've been in the right place at the right time. I had some wonderful kids to work with in high school in Arizona, a national record holder. And you think about all the track teams in high school in America, not many coaches have a national record holder. And I've had two in my coaching career. Anyway, the success I had as coach at Glendale got me the job at City College. And when West Valley opened up, I went there. And I also had a national record holder there.
Was it at City College that you didn't like the textbook, or where was that?
No, that's West Valley.
West Valley.
Yeah,
That's what I meant. Yeah.
West Valley hired somebody to set up a program to develop park people. And I thought to myself, my gosh, that's really what I want to do. And so I quit coaching. Well, I quit being the head coach for a while. And then I quit altogether. But basically, I was one of the founders of the park management program at West Valley College. And I thought to myself, geez, if I am going to teach people how to be park rangers, I better be one. So I was hired by Santa Clara County as a park ranger out at Ubis Canyon County Park in the summertime.
Sure sounds like boring life, doesn't it?
What's that?
I said, you sound like you've had such a boring life. How many things have you already been now? Yeah.
Well,
You're coach,
yeah,
scoutmaster,
Yeah.
teacher,
yeah.
and you wrote your own textbook?
Well, yeah. I taught introduction to park management at West Valley College, and I could never find a decent book. So I wrote one. And it's in the 6th edition. I put it on a thumb drive and gave it to the college and said, here, put it somewhere where the students can download it for nothing. I don't need the money. And they do. And I'm still kind of toying with it. It's in my computer, and it's kind of,
And
like I said,
It's over there on the table, one of
on
your
the
paper?
table.
Yeah.
But anyway, one day the assistant superintendent at Yosemite was on our campus to talk to our classes. And I said to him, John, how would you like to have a real eager park ranger seasonal? He said, well, send in your app. And I did. And I got a job as a seasonal park ranger in Yosemite, in the backcountry. The backcountry being the wilderness. I was a ranger at Buck Camp Ranger Station. I had 70,000 acres to patrol on horseback.
A friend of
Buck
mine,
Camp was 14 miles from the nearest road.
a friend of mine told me you have some bear facts to talk about.
Oh, I can talk about bears forever.
Well,
They're-
don't do
they're
it
my
forever, but
favorite
give us a
animal.
couple.
Yeah, my son Bob started his career with Fish and Wildlife, the California Fish and Wildlife, as a bear manager in Yosemite, trapping and relocating bears. They're about that much smarter than all of us. Believe me. I've been ripped off by him myself.
Do you have any bear facts to tell us? Any close calls or interesting experiences?
Well, I had a couple of close calls. One, I opened the door to the back at the backcountry cabin, and the bear was on the back porch. And I jumped back inside the cabin. The bear went, and he jumped off the porch and ran away.
You didn't invite him in.
And I didn't invite him in, no. And then the first night I was a ranger at Merced Lake Ranger Station, which was 10 miles above Nevada Falls. So you are familiar with Yosemite. And I opened the window and went to bed. I heard this rustling around. I looked and the bear was coming through the window. And the only thing I had was a pillow, and that's what I hit him with. But it shocked him enough that he left. Other than that, I kept my windows closed. But I rode a horse 700-800 miles every summer.
How many miles?
700 or 800. Yeah, there's a lot to be a bow-legged.
I'm sure he has, if you
I've had-
meet him sometime, he'll probably have lots of
Well,
stories.
I've been involved in athletics, and I don't have a joint that doesn't hurt me right now. But most of those joints are because of accidents on a horse.
Oh,
Yeah. They gave special compensation to people who had to ride in helicopters, and I wondered why they didn't do that with me, because riding a horse wasn't the safest thing to do on earth. But anyway, like Mildred and I raised 5 kids, and like I said, 4 boys are all Eagle Scouts. My son Bob, it's when you really retire, it's when your kids retire. He's retired now with Fish and Game. He lives up in Wairika. My daughter Kathy is married to a professor at Cal Poly. Kathy is a food scientist. She has a lot of successes out there. One I can think right off that is ragu spaghetti sauce. If you ever use that Kathy developed that. But she had a very unique position. She worked for Matson Corporation in Redwood City, and she lived in the Atascadero down in San Luis Obispo. And she did all of the house that they bought on 5 acres. And she's kind of living my dream. That's kind of what I wanted to do. But anyway, I'm very proud of her. And my son Dave just retired as a advanced placement history teacher at Lee High School. It's a school the kids all went to. My son Jim is a full professor at UC Irvine. He's an atmospheric chemist. You don't really talk to him much about climate change. He's not a climatologist, but he invented a way to measure the nanoparticles in the atmosphere that are so small they enter your bloodstream. And very proud of him, no doubt. And my youngest, Jerry, works for Chegg in the Silicon Valley. Chegg is a college textbook company where the students can rent their textbooks and download them off the web. So at least they're not living at home. But anyway, here I am.
and you knew people before you moved here,
But yeah, I can see a lot of them out there right now.
and they'd be in trouble if they weren't out there, right?
Yeah. You see Gene Lusk back there. Ted and I were really good friends. Let's see, a lot of people I know. Jan back there.
Okay.
And of course, Renaud's. We're good friends for years. I've known them over 50 years.
She has some stories about you.
Ditto.
Okay, anything else either of you can think of that you left out?
sakes. I could go on forever.
What? Huh? If you have something you left out
What's that?
that you want to tell us,
Why?
go
What,
ahead. Or-
yeah, when you're a park ranger in Yosemite, you sometimes meet very important people. I saw some guy hitchhiking one day, and we don't usually pick him up, but he waved me down, and I was driving in a patrol car. And he got in. I said, "What's the matter?" He said, "Well, I hurt my knee, and my car is down to Tenaya Lake." I said, "Okay, I'll take you there." It's a French consulate general. Yeah. Another day, I was at the stable getting my horse ready, and this man appeared, and I called him Mr. Secretary because it was Robert McNamara, and I had one-on-one with him. I had the opportunity, a very interesting opportunity, to spend 5 days with Donald Hodel, Secretary of Interior. This, I could write a book about that guy.
What about,
Yeah,
speaking
But
of
my
book,
favorite guy was 7 feet tall, and came into the campground every August with his wife and kids in an old beat up crew cab pickup with bicycles thrown on the top of an aluminum camper. And it was Bill Walton. And oh, I had that too. Yeah, the Queen of England showed up in Yosemite, and they borrowed me from the college for 5 days so I could go help protect her. And I use the term very loosely because I think if anybody wanted to kill her, they probably would have. But it was very interesting, 4 or 5 days.
do you want to tell what you have on the table?
Well, I have my Silver Beaver. I have the first book I wrote about being a ranger, seasonal ranger in Yosemite. I tried to convince my colleagues to each write a chapter, and I ended up doing it myself because he didn't want to. And the book Hooked on Parks, probably I should have put in the first book because the Hooked on Parks was a kind of a dud. And then my textbook is there.
Okay, could you pass the mic to Harold? Because I think you have.
One other thing, there's an award there that I'm very, very, very proud of. And that is I got the President's Award from the Board of Commissioners in California. All the cities have park commissions, and they have a association of all those members of boards and commissions, and they gave me the President's Award for my contribution to parks in California.
Wow.
And it's there. As my wife said, that had to be the nicest thing you ever got. And I have to agree with that.
Would you pass it? Harold has something to say, I think, don't you? Yeah.
Well, I do. It's to me, it was humorous. So I don't know. I'll let you
We need something humorous, don't we, these days?
see that wooden hand carved pig. Okay, my wife and I were in Hawaii, Honolulu. I was there for a technical conference and brought her, and she wanted to go, so we both went. Well, we came out of a restaurant, and there was a guy there, native man. He had kind of a loose fitting coat, and he said, "Hey, buddy, you want to buy a pig?" And he opened up his coat, and there was that carved wooden pig. So I laughed, we laughed. Hey, we can have some laughs with that. And then we went into the restaurant, and the waitress took our order and then said, "What does the pig want to drink?" So that was step one in a series of events that had to do with pigs. The next one was a friend we had lived in the foothills of Saratoga. It was his birthday. He was rather well-to-do, and we said, "What? We don't know what else. We don't know what to buy him for his birthday." You didn't hear this one. So I said, "I'll tell you what. I think he grew up on a farm. He likes farming stuff. I think I'll get him a live pig for his birthday." Don't ever do that. Anyway.
For sure.
Yeah, so this guy where I worked had a little farm in Gilroy, and I was telling him the story, and he says, I can sell you a pig." So he gave me, I said, "Okay, well, might as well go all the way." So he sold me a little razorback pig. I had a pinto, and I had to get it from he got it to, oh yeah, he got it to work. Sorry, he got the pig to where we worked. I had to get it to my friend's place. So, yeah, well, he didn't like that pig at all. And he said, "What do you got in the burlap bag?" And he said, "It sounds like a critter to me." And I said, "It is." And he said, "Well, take it back." I didn't know what to do. Anyway, his wife came along and said, "Hey, Harvey, just keep it. We'll put it in that big hole we dug for an outdoor swimming pool." And so we did that. Anyway, the pig became a favorite of this friend. And see, I had one other about a pig. I forget it now. Anyway, that started kind of a series of people would see that I bought these, either a picture of a pig or that I bought a ceramic figurine of a pig, and they decided I really liked pigs. So every holiday, guess what I got for gifts? I got a house full of ceramic pigs. I just thought I'd add that as a little laugh.
Harold, what's your unit number? I want people as they go by to see your collection.
Oh yeah, it's
Where do you live here?
yeah, Q364.
Q364. There's
Three.
a display of pigs.
Long way away.
I think there's 2 of them out on the porch. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's, should we do questions from there, or is it too late, or what do you think? Anybody have a question?
You told me you had some questions.
Who? Who?
Yeah, Joe.
Oh,
Yeah. No, you answered them all. Oh, okay.
oh, yeah, somebody said you like oatmeal. Something about breakfast and oatmeal?
Me? Oh, yeah,
Oh.
she eats oatmeal every day.
Okay.
Whatever.
Anybody else? Well, if you have more, come on up to the table and then you can answer their questions over here. Thank you all for coming.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. But go over there and answer any questions they might have. And thank you for doing this. Thank you. you have as hard a time getting up as I do.
From sitting down when they're 92.
Do you want me to get you help?
No, I'll get out. Go to movies. I hate these chairs.
Bart, help him get up. Oh, good, thank you.
There we go.
You what?
Quite a few stories I could tell.
Oh, I would like that.
I worked there. One of the key things is I worked at Walmart, New York. For 20 years. So I was in Wall Street.
So you're willing to have me interview up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I made a.
It won't be next month, but the following month.
Yeah, I could be.
Thank you for telling me, because I have a hard time rounding up people.
No, I could. Wall Street was pretty colorful.
Okay, that's great. Thanks for telling me.